Hi guys, sorry. Welcome back to my session. I think there's a problem with the previous recording, so somehow Zoom did not capture the earlier part of the video where I explained to you how to create or adding a CSS into your HTML file. So okay, we're gonna do it here. Alright, so what you're gonna do, what you can do, and what you should do, you need to have or you need to add in the head section the style element, and you need to also include the type of the file or the element as CSS. Alright, so this is the opening tag of the CSS and this is the closing tag of the CSS. So all your style declaration should be within that that element or the tag. So what I'm going to do, I just add few lines in between that, so that I'm going to add more style declaration. So what I did previously in class, I showed you how to change the style of your headings. So in this case, I have H1 and H2. Alright, so what you can do as a selector, you need to type H1. Alright, then as a selector, and then you can include the style declaration within the curly braces. This is the curly braces. So all style declaration should be written or typed in that curly braces. So I'm going to change the background, the font family first. Alright, so this is basically in the list, it shows that you can select the system font. Alright, for example, at the moment by default it's using Times Roman. I'm going to use Gotham to replace that font family, and you don't need to change the font size for headings. Alright, you can just use the default size for it. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type semicolon to complete one set of style declaration. And then if you want to add another style declaration, in this case I'm going to change the color of the typeface. I've explained to you. Alright, I'm just going to show you how to do it here. And choose the color property, and then the value I'm going to use, you can use the color name or you can use color picker. Alright, as explained to you earlier in class. Alright, but I'm going to explain again in this video so that if you missed out this part, you can recap back what I've said earlier. Alright, so we have three different code color models in CSS of a web. You have RGBA or red, green, blue and alpha. You also have the hexadecimal code. Okay, you're dealing with codes, the 6th alphanumerical codes, and you also have hue, saturation and lightness or HSLA. Alright, so this is lightness, this is hue, and this is alpha. Alright, so you can reduce the alpha or the transparency of the color. Alright, so now I'm going to choose dark blue for now. Alright, and then once you selected the color, you press return on your keyboard, and that will indicate that you add a color onto your H1. Alright, so what we have here, we preview this. So now you can see. Alright, so previously in the session I've added the underline in the HTML tag. I'm going to remove this so that you won't get confused. Alright, so this is what you're supposed to see. Alright, so this is only applies to my H1, but it doesn't change the appearance of my other headings, which is H2. So if you want to change that, you can. If you want to use the same font family and color, what you can do, you can just add in by typing your comma and also space and then another selector, which is H2. You can have several. You can also have P, for instance. Alright, P, and what happened is the H1, H2 and paragraph using the same color. But if you don't want to do like this, if you want to set different typeface for your heading, different typeface for your paragraph, you need to separate the style declaration. Okay, another way of adding a font family is by using Google Fonts. Alright, so here I've selected 3 different typefaces or 3 different fonts, which is Roboto. Alright, Roboto. I've also selected modec, and another one is, where is it? Yeah, Fredoka 1. Okay, so if you missed out the first session earlier, so this is how you can select a font from Google Fonts by adding or clicking this button, this plus button here. So once you add a new type fonts, right, once you've selected new fonts, for example, if I want to add Fira Sans Condense, for example, here, just click the button here. As you can see in the tab, we will have like 4 different typeface of fonts that have been selected in your Google Fonts. So what you need to do now is you need to copy this, copy that, copy the link, paste it somewhere in the head section. I'm going to paste it here. Alright, so basically you have all the links into your HTML file. The only thing that you need to do now is to copy another code. I'm going to copy this code or font family, Fira Sans Condense. I'm going to apply that for my paragraph. So I'm going to remove this. Right, I'm going to add another style declaration, which is P, and then put curly braces and paste the font family. You can also specify the font size. I'm going to use 1.25 EM. EM is the relative measurement. EM stands for the size of your lowercase m. Okay, and you can also add color here. I'm going to use slightly darker color. Cadet blue. Okay. Alright, so this is how it looks like. Okay, so that's the font size. It's quite okay, readable. Right, but the LI doesn't change because you did not specify anything, any style in your CSS. So what you can do, you can also do it this way. LI. Okay. So now you have the LI using the same typeface as your paragraph. Right, so what happened is, so now you can see this color is different because it's a link text. You can change that color later if you want to, right? Or you can use the default color setting for now. Alright, I've also showed you how to change the background. Alright, so what you can do, you can change the background by selecting the body. So body is this. So you are actually selecting that body. Okay, so you see when I highlight or select body, so automatically this is underlined as well because you are actually selecting this. So if I highlight H1 for instance, you can see now H1 is underlined because actually these are the same except for different use. Alright, for body, I'm going to add a background color because I don't want to use white as a background because sometimes it looks too plain, right? So we change the color. Probably I'm going to use a very light background. Right. Not too much. Otherwise, the contrast of your background and the typeface is not that good. Right. So then, what you can do, and that's all. You can add other properties later. Alright. What I'm going to do, not going to do it here. You can even change the background image as well. Okay, that one I'm going to show it later in a different class. Okay, so now make sure that every time you type your style declaration, you need to end the style declaration with a semicolon because without the semicolon, your code will not work. Alright, so make sure that make it it's a habit to type semicolon at the end of your style declaration. Okay, so now we see the changes that we've done so far. Alright, so you can also change the alignment of the text. Okay, maybe for heading you can add types align center for all the headings. Alright. I'm going to talk about the size or how to control the size or the width later in layout. Okay, in the layout class, layout session. Right, we'll probably another 2 or 3 more weeks. Okay. Right, so we're just gonna what we're gonna do is basically we're gonna just focus on the types and font first. Right, so if you feel that you want to remove the underline on your text link and you want to change the color of your link text, you can do that, but you need to remember you need to differentiate a link text from a normal text. Alright, so you can do that by choosing different color or adding text decoration. So in this case by default it's blue. Alright, you can change the characteristic of the A by selecting A. Alright, and you can also change the color. Probably you want to use slightly different color, maybe striking color, because you want to attract the user so that they know that it's a clickable text. But you don't want to use the underline somehow because it's quite distracting and it's not very appealing. So you can just remove the underline by setting or by choosing the text decoration property, so the value is none. Okay, so when you set that, let's check out here. Okay, there you go. Oh, it's too bright and it's difficult to read. Maybe what you can do, you can change the color. Probably not aqua, maybe aquamarine could work. Not really, I think because of the background. Yeah, maybe we could like look for a very slightly darker, or maybe blue violet maybe. Yeah, let's see how. Okay, there you go. Right now you don't have the text, the underline, because you removed that. Okay. Alright, so I hope this video could help you to complete the task for today's exercise. Alright, if you have any question, you can just chat during Zoom session as well, or you can ask me during the second session later in class. Okay, bye bye, see you next time.